specifically meant for you to get lost in, booby traps galore, giants chucking flaming boulders at you, persistent asshole snipers, or even just being pitch dark. Like its predecessor, DS1 goes out of its way to put a large emphasis on the levels and environments themselves being out to get you. Moving on to the easier side of things, I've gotta say, for a game that was originally popularized because of how infamously difficult it is, the amount of overpowered weapons you can find right at the start is insane. Think about it, the Zweihander, the Great Axe, the Claymore, the Uchigatana, the Gravelord Greatsword, all of these weapons are obtainable basically at the beginning. For most of them, all you need to do is complete the tutorial, invest in a couple points, and bam, you're already carrying one of the most powerful tools in the entire game. To add to that, aside from Demon Souls and Elden Ring, this is the main FromSoft game that can be potentially obliterated with magic. Miracles are still kinda whatever in this one, but if you heavily invest into sorcery or pyromancy, you'll be able to reach some pretty high damage numbers. If you want, you can even use both at once, since pyromancy requires 0 stat investment. The combination of overpowered early game weapons and magic being as reliable as it is means there's no shortage of ways to make this game significantly less intimidating. And the last thing I've gotta mention is the Master Key. This is basically just the cherry on top when discussing overpowered builds. If you pick this key as your starter gift, you literally have access to the entire first half of the game aside from the depths the moment you beat the tutorial, making that number of overpowered weapons I talked about multiply. Before moving on to DS2, I think there's one aspect of this game that would fall into the mixed category, and that's the boss fights. Originally, I was going to mention the bosses while talking about the easy stuff, because thinking back on the game, there are a lot of pushovers that come to mind. But to be fair, there are a decent chunk of fights in Dark Souls 1 that genuinely hold up in terms of challenge, assuming your build is within the range of reasonable. Ornstein and Smo, along with all the DLC bosses, have got some pretty demanding movesets that are comparable to the stuff FromSoft puts out in the modern day. So as a whole, this game's boss roster comes with high highs and low lows in terms of difficulty. Now for the black sheep of the series, Dark Souls 2. Real quick, I want to make it clear that I like this game. It has a lot of aspects that I really enjoy, but unfortunately a lot of my biggest issues with it are going to come out while discussing the difficulty, so there will be a little bit of roasting. Also, I should mention that I'm going off of the Scholar version. I'm sorry for any OG purists out there. As far as the difficult elements, the most standout one to me is that if you don't look up anything about this game before playing it, it could potentially be a nightmare. To an extent, that's admittedly also true for the rest of these games, but in Dark Souls 2 specifically, there are so many little things that could screw you over, such as not knowing to level up adaptability, or not knowing to save your fragrant branches of yours, and some statues are vital to clear if you want to complete the game. Personally, I severely regret not looking up any starter tips before I played this game for the first time. Because you know those two examples of potential problems I just mentioned? Both of them happened to me on my first playthrough. For the first good chunk of my experience, I had almost no iframes, and was constantly looking up where to find more of those stupid-ass branches. Plus, there were a lot of bits of common knowledge, such as how to get infinite life gems, that I was completely clueless on. Anyway, you get the point. If you play this game, do yourself a massive favor and look up a beginner guide or something. Next up, we've got to discuss one of the most easily predictable aspects of the entire video, the ganks. Yep, I know people in the comments are going to tell me that the DS2 gank complaint is overblown, but put simply, no. No, it's not. Every time I replay this game, I significantly underestimate how prevalent this issue will be. And then sure enough, I usually rack up a couple deaths from being surrounded. I guess there's really no elaboration necessary for this one. Just straight up, there are often way too many enemies crammed together, especially in my favorite area, the Brood Tower. And you might be thinking, some of the other Souls games can also have situations where, you know, there's a pretty damn solid group of dudes clumped together. But my argument is, 1, none of the other games do it as consistently and egregiously as this one. And 2, this game's clunkier movement compared to the rest makes ganks so much shittier. Speaking of which, that's my next point, the game's clunky movement. Every once in a while, you'll hear new Souls fans complain that Demon Souls or Dark Souls 1 feel a bit slow and rigid by modern standards. But the reason why I've never even considered calling those games clunky is because it's night and day compared to this one. To be fair, there is a smidge of personal preference here. Some people just prefer slower combat to faster combat, and for the most part, Dark Souls 2's combat is at least functional. but at the same time, I'd definitely call it rough around the edges. You have to wait for a short pause after every attack, and your stamina feels non-existent, which makes this game feel a bit fundamentally harder to get the hang of since you need to account for the jank. Now for the easy stuff. In direct contrast to what I said earlier about not looking up tips being a detriment, if you do look up a guide and learn to take advantage of the game's systems, you can low-key make it your bitch. Talking enough to a certain merchant will give you easy access to an infinite supply of life gems, which instantly makes healing a non-issue since you'll rarely run out as long as you stock up. Plus, they're honestly way more convenient than this game's version of Estus, since you can use them while walking, and they're just noticeably faster. You'll damn near never want to touch your Estus flask again since it's so slow in comparison. And of course, Dark Souls 2 has this little addition that none of the other games have even considered dabbling in: bonfire settings. If you burn one of these at a bonfire, then it makes the area surrounding the bonfire move up one New Game Plus cycle. While it's a very simple concept, I'm sure you can imagine the ludicrous potential of it. The most classic strategy is to head to the Black Gulch, defeat the Rotten, and continue using bonfire settings to make him respawn and keep getting more souls every time you defeat him. After doing this a good few times, you'll be significantly over-leveled for where you're at in the game. So yeah, bonfire settings are broken. But aside from proper knowledge going in, the other aspect of this game that sticks out like a sore thumb in terms of ease would be the boss fights. As usual, there's the obligatory mention of a few outliers such as Dark Lurker, Fume Knight, and Sir Lone. But man, when looking at a list of them all together, I can't say that more than 25% of them come off as a genuine, serious challenge to me. Some of them are absolute jokes, and almost all of the others are usually just unnoteworthy in the grand scheme. Plus, strafing goes a long way in this game. If Dark Souls 2 is the first Souls game you play, you might find yourself being fairly challenged by the boss fights. But after playing literally any of the other games aside from Demon Souls, it just doesn't hold its own on this front. Though I will give a quick mention that DS2 is definitely the second most difficult when it comes to boss run backs. Demon Souls runs are a little more consistently long, but with stuff like Ludden Zalin and the Executioner's Chariot, this one's got a fair amount of lengthy ones. For Bloodborne. When thinking of what makes this game stand out in terms of difficulty, I think the most prominent aspect would have to be getting used to the aggressive flow of combat. Considering that there's now 7 of these games, the likelihood of this one being your first is not very high, especially since it's one of the 2 PlayStation exclusives. So when you load it up for the first time, there's a good chance that you'll struggle to adapt to the faster pace. You need to get used to dashing, which lets you dodge faster than rolling. You gotta learn to take advantage of the rally system, which lets you earn health back while also rewarding properly timed aggression. And you just need to be used to the fact that bosses can occasionally move at lightning speed. If you've already dabbled in some of the other FromSoft games, this one really throws you for a loop, since most of the others teach you how to be patient, whereas this one highly rewards you for getting hits in as consistently as possible. And even if it's your first FromSoft game, it's still just a really fast-paced system that takes a fair amount of getting used to, which can mostly be seen in the next aspect, the boss fights. Yep, this is the first FromSoft title that turned boss fights into an actual cornerstone of its difficulty. Granted, they aren't as consistently challenging as some of the lineups in later games can get, but when comparing the average Bloodborne boss to the average Demon Souls boss, no one can deny that there's a massive jump in complexity. Plus, you've got a few heavy hitters, such as Orphan of Kos and Lawrence. So yeah, none of the other games that came before this one can really compare to the highs of difficulty that it reaches with its most noteworthy battles. Now, more quickly than I'd anticipated, let's shift over to the easy side, starting with something pretty damn significant: the usefulness of finite items. Okay, obviously all of these games have a plethora of one-time use items you can find throughout them that will give you an advantage in some way or another. But with Bloodborne in particular, I think it's a little ridiculous just how much they can turn the game on its head. Beast blood pellets are obviously the big standout. Popping one grants you a temporary period of time where whenever you hit an opponent, it racks up the beast meter, which allows you to deal more damage as it goes up. Granted, it also makes your defense worse, but with how quickly it lets you demolish the bosses, that barely even matters most of the time. You can also stack the pellets with fire paper or bolt paper, depending on which type of boss you're fighting. Some of them can also be distracted with pungent blood cocktails. Of course, the whole idea of depending on a finite resource to defeat your enemies is a bit risky, since every time you die, the items you used have now just become a waste. Which means this likely won't be a huge help for first-time players who will probably die a lot regardless. It's just one of those things where if you're already good at the game, the items serve to make it even more of a breeze. And the other big thing I have to admit is that you can really abuse the Chalice dungeons. First, let's get this out of the way. There's a certain dungeon out there where every time you load the area, you get a hefty chunk of blood echoes for free, making it a super efficient farm that will get you overpowered in no time. Obviously, this wasn't intended by the developers, but it's still possible without using glitches, so it technically still counts. Aside from that major example, there are also just a lot of convenient ways you can exploit the dungeons, such as finding late-game weapons the moment you're able to search Chalice glyphs. Alright, for the first time I've actually got multiple things to talk about in the mixed category, starting with blood vials. Similarly to Demon Souls, this game comes with a finite healing system, but unlike Demon Souls, I wouldn't consider the blood vials to be a purely easy factor, for two reasons. One, you can only hold 20 at a time instead of as much as you want, and two, the bosses in Bloodborne are actually consistently hard, which means it's 10 times more likely in this game that you'll run into a scenario where you've died to a boss so many times that you run out of blood vials and are forced to farm for more, which is honestly one of the most annoying feelings in any of these games, and easily one of my least favorite aspects of playing Bloodborne for the first time. However, despite the inconvenience it can cause new players, from a certain perspective, they do low-key make the game easier. If you're good enough to the point that you consistently don't run out of vials, that means you get to hold 20 at a time from the very start of the game. Compared to almost every other game in the series, that's kinda ridiculous. And if you ask me, once you get to the Forbidden Woods, I don't think running out of vials is ever an issue anymore. This area allows you to collect so many vials and get echoes from slaying so many damn enemies to the point that if a player is good enough to get to the woods in the first place by defeating Amelia, I see no reason why the woods wouldn't be a perfectly viable, massive farm for them. And the last subject to discuss would be counter damage. Lots of these games come with a bit of counter damage, but in Bloodborne, the difference is astronomical. If an enemy hits you in the middle of a dodge, you take double damage. So if they happen to hit you with an attack that's already powerful on its own, you can occasionally take some straight up disgusting hits. The reason why I have this in mixed is, of course, because your enemies also take counter damage. In reality, the difference it makes when you're getting hit feels a lot more noticeable, since your health bar naturally pales in comparison to the bosses. But over time, I'm sure there have been at least a handful of occasions where I may have not defeated a boss if it weren't for the bonus damage I got against them. On to Dark Souls 3. For the easier side, I feel like the most prominent aspect is how streamlined the game feels. Compared to stuff like Dark Souls 1 and 2, it's a lot less likely in DS3 that you'll run into a situation where you've accidentally made an enormous mistake that will negatively affect your playthrough for the next hour. Most of this is because of the world design. As I've said before, Dark Souls 3 has the most linear world in the series, meaning while there are some occasional diverging paths, the game can mostly be seen as one road from the beginning to the end. But the streamlined philosophy can also be seen in other places, such as making builds. Since this game doesn't lean into magic being overpowered like some of the others, most new players will probably just find a solid melee weapon and dump all of their non-health and stamina points into either strength or dex. So yeah, making your way through the map is pretty simple, and creating a viable build is even simpler, which makes this one of the most approachable Souls games for gamers who don't like when their actions can have major negative consequences. And quickly moving over to what makes the game hard, it's just the bosses. Like Bloodborne and the games that came after it, Dark Souls 3 puts a large emphasis of the game's quality and memorability on the spectacle and engaging movesets of the big cool boss fights, which simultaneously means that it puts a large emphasis on the fights being a challenge. When I think back on any time that I struggled or got stuck when playing this game for the first time, it's pretty much just the boss fights. Opponents like Nameless King, Midir, and Sister Frida are still up there with some of the biggest challenges for me. And weirdly enough, that's all I have to say about Dark Souls 3. Ironic, since this is the FromSoft game I have the most hours on, but for whatever reason, there's nothing else about this game that stands out to me making it easier or harder. It's just a streamlined, relatively straightforward action RPG that stands on its own in terms of challenge by putting an emphasis on the bosses being satisfying obstacles to overcome. Sekiro, the weirdest From Software game to judge difficulty-wise. But I'll get to why that is in a bit. First, let's go over the hard elements, which begins with one of the easiest aspects to choose out of any in this video, the learning curve of the combat. If you ask me, the main reason why Sekiro is so commonly referred to as the definitive hardest Souls game is because just being able to effectively use the game's core systems is a lot more demanding than any of the others. Out of all the recent FromSoft titles, I'd say that on average, this is the one where enemies and bosses tend to be the fastest. Which is fine, because the game gives you methods to properly deal with them, such as the most common technique, deflecting, as well as some prosthetic tools to make things easier from time to time. Plus, you generally get quicker and more agile movement speed compared to the other games. The only problem is that getting the hang of how to properly deflect enemy attacks and utilize your speed is definitely going to take a fair amount of trial and error. It also doesn't help that two of the first mini-bosses you find in the game are the Chained Ogre and the Blazing Bull. Both of them can technically be deflected, but at the same time, they definitely caused a lot of first-time players to lean more towards dodging, which is exactly the opposite of the instinct you want to gain. But once you reach Genichiro, that's when things finally come together for most people. He does a fantastic job at teaching players how to deflect wild combos, as well as stay on top of him to not lose the momentum of his posture breaking. If you can beat him, then you've basically proven that you can beat the game. But before accomplishing that, you may have a rough time getting into the swing of things. Aside from the combat itself, I of course have to briefly mention the bosses. Sekiro is one of the newest From Software games, meaning the bosses have a really high standard for quality as well as difficulty. Just like the last two games, most of the hardest moments of your first playthrough will probably be from getting stuck on the boss fights. Now for what makes the game easy. In direct contrast to my point about it being the hardest when you're first learning it, I'd say that it becomes the easiest when you are familiar with it. Because of how perfectly fair 90% of the bosses are, once you get their movesets down, you never forget them. And when combined with the fact that Sekiro lets you double down on aggression as long as you can always deflect or evade, this is one of those games that I feel like I can fly through as if nothing even happened. Once you get those deflect timings, you turn into an unstoppable force of nature, which is so damn awesome because you really feel like you earned the right to become such a powerful shinobi. You were thrown into the lion's den when you first started, and if you manage to come out the other side, then your reward is being able to treat the game like it's not even a big deal after a couple playthroughs. Similarly to Dark Souls 3, another thing that makes this game easier than it could have been is the streamlined nature of it. Compared to DS3, I think Sekiro's world is definitely more difficult to navigate, but the main thing that simplifies it compared to the rest is obviously the fact that it isn't an RPG. Despite me arguing that Dark Souls 3 is a forgiving game that doesn't too heavily punish you for making mistakes, there are still a multitude of ways you can screw yourself over, such as putting all of your points from leveling into useless stats, making it harder for you to properly build important stuff like your health bar. But in Sekiro, there's none of that. You level up your strength by beating bosses, you level up your health by beating mini-bosses, and you can use your skill points and currency to buy new combat arts, inherent abilities, and prosthetic upgrades. That's it. I'd also say this is why a small percentage of gamers found Sekiro less daunting to get into than the others. You don't need to worry about whether you're picking the right damage types, weapons, or spells to invest in. There's nothing to it except learning the combat and trying to get better at it. Before transitioning to the final game, I'll also give a brief mention to Sekiro's length here. Like I said when talking about Demon's Souls, I think that game and this one are comparable in terms of how short they are. But the reason why it doesn't stick out to me as much in Sekiro is because of how hard the bosses are. In Demon's Souls, you're way less likely to hit a genuine wall from a hard boss, meaning Sekiro probably has a much longer average first playthrough time. Still though, it is noticeably shorter than the other ones. And to finish things off, it's time to talk about Elden Ring, a game that many people have written off as being way easier than the rest, while simultaneously causing outrage because of how difficult it is. But now it's time for my take on its challenge. And the hardest thing about this game is that it has the most difficult bosses in the series, without a shadow of a doubt. I know some people still argue that, like, Ishin is the hardest From Software challenge, but no. He's a daunting foe for sure, but I think Melania and Consort Radon leave him in the dust. Though even if it weren't for the two obvious standouts, Elden Ring just hits so damn consistently with the complexity of its movesets. Almost every main fight in the DLC is in the realm of hardest Souls bosses, and the main game still has plenty of heavy hitters like Malekith, Mohg, and Radagon plus Elden Beast. The difficulty of a lot of these fights has been a source for a fair amount of controversy, and while I personally die on a hill defending the quality of almost every main boss in the game, there isn't a doubt in my mind that this lineup is the most challenging to date. To be clear, I'm only talking about Remembrance bosses. If I included all of the mini-bosses, then obviously the average difficulty per boss would be way lower. But speaking of those countless mini-bosses, the other major factor of this game's challenge would be the length. Elden Ring is significantly longer than all of the other games. Of course, the actual amount of content you have to finish in order to complete the game is surprisingly low, but realistically, 90% of players aren't going to be able to just rush through the mandatory fights right to the end, because they'd be significantly underleveled. Unless you're a speedrunner or really know what you're doing, you've got to interact with at least a damn good chunk of content in order to get yourself to the point that you can actually beat the main game, not to mention the DLC. However, the sheer amount of content is ironically also part of why people consider this game the easiest. Firstly, because of the idea that you can always fight something easier. Stuck on a tough boss? Don't worry about it. Just go explore and fight some mini-bosses to level up a few times so you can come back stronger. This whole philosophy is apparently the reason why a lot of newcomers found Elden Ring to be a softer introduction to the series compared to the other games. Since you aren't forced to immediately step up and tackle the actual significant battles, you can basically just spend as much time as you want getting small level ups here and there, to the point where the boss you were initially intimidated by is barely even a challenge anymore. And the other big way players can exploit the game's size is by using what they find in it to make broken builds. Because of how many different weapons, spells, and tools there are throughout this massive world, the variety of options for making busted builds is unrivaled by any other FromSoft game. You've got a multitude of completely new mechanics, such as spirit summons, allowing you to have an ally, and power crystal tiers, which allow you to buff yourself even beyond the standard mechanic of talismans. But even without that stuff, there are so many weapons and spells you can invest in that will make things 10 times easier on yourself. Honestly, there are so many that I won't even try to make a list of examples. But in short, most of it comes down to certain armaments having overpowered innate skills that, in some way or another, make the game a little easier. Some spells and spell combos are also pretty ridiculous. Plus, with how convenient it is to respec your stats, you can always change your mind and try using a different broken build. Whatever suits your taste, Elden Ring's got it. So those are my thoughts on the difficulty of the Souls games. At the end of the day, whichever one you find the most challenging comes down to personal preference. And for me personally, it's just...
Alright, I finished watching the video I was watching, which was about the toughest Dark Souls, or I should say Souls-like game, but didn't really answer that question. Well, I guess it really didn't have a question. The title of it was There Is No Hardest Souls Game, but... Anywho, let's continue. We are live. I have been live for 23 minutes, apparently. But, we're gonna finish up everything that we have left to do in the base game. So, yeah. That would require us to talk to this gentleman. My perfect place has gotten to be in front of Prism Tower along the canal and has a rooftop space with a table and umbrellas. Oh, and I want to be close to a Pokémon Center and Cafe too. Prism Tower, along the canal, rooftop space, with a Pokemon Center and Cafe too. So, Prism Tower is right here. It has to be here. I don't know where else it could be. I really don't. would you look at that? I think we found it. Cool. We found it. Simple enough. I guess so, bud. I guess so. Your Pokemon is about as expensive as girlfriend. Trust me. Anywho. Right here. I guess taking on these two would be next. Alright, let's take care of the kid first. The world's greatest Pikachu. Using only a single Pikachu. Level 19. 6, 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I guess level 19 is where we're going. Alright, so we're level 31, but that's not high enough, so. fuck is that face? That bitch got a problem. What hammer? Goodbye. Okay. Heat crash. All right. I'll be right back. I gotta give Chris Bumstead this. Out of his 3 soda flavors that I tried, which were supposed to be based off of cola, Dr. Pepper, and root beer, only 2 of them actually taste what they're supposed to be like. The Dr. Pepper, not so much. But the root beer, I taste that fucking vanilla. The problem is it still looks like Sprite. Regardless, let's continue. Oh, that's right. I need to go get my iPad. I need to finish up the Baratier season. Or, not season, arc. iPad, U-pad, everybody knee pads. Everybody knows that you gotta be the D-pad. Everybody I don't know. I'm rambling on at this point. Headphones. Need the headphones. Oh, and I need the baby. I got the baby. Oh, I got the baby. Oh, I got the baby. How are you doing, honey? Are you doing alright? She's like, I just want you to go to bed, Dad. Let's go to bed. I want to sleep on you like we always do. And have a good night. Reality, honey, I gotta play some video games. I'll play some video games, okay? I beat the Pokemon. I'll beat the Pokemon, okay? I love you. Yes, I do. I love you so much. So much love for this kitty. Yes. Oh, fuck. Cramp. Oh. Leg cramps. Oh. This is my baby. This is my baby. I love you. I love you so much. I love you so much. She about to the point where she wants to do her own thing now. I gave her too much affection, I guess. She's like, fuck this, I'm gone, bitch. It tasted like garlic and Parmesan. Anywho. Ooh. He be kicking motherfuckers in the face. Oh, well, that was convenient. Oh, well. What? Hold the fuck up. I'm only watching the 4th fucking episode. I downloaded the rest of the episodes. Why is it telling me that I can't watch the episode? I hate my life. This some bullshit. I only wanted to watch was the Barate arc. Oh. 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 I just realized I don't have a water type. I have 2 grass types, but I don't have a water type. Alright, well that works. Fire roar. Earthquake. Goodbye. Who are you? What you got? What do you have?
It's a baby.
She has a carbink. I have Salamence. Earthquake. Wood hammer. Goodbye. Gardevoir. Steel type move. Super effective. Clefable. There we go. Simple enough. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly what are you trying to do over there? No. Do not play with cords. Fucking asshole. She stretches up all the way to the top of my desk just to play with the curled up cord of my fucking mouse. Fucking asshole. She thinks she's so cute doing it too. I need Salamence. Oh, maybe Salamence was not what I needed. Holy fuck, that about killed him. Sableye. Heavy Slam. Noiburn. Zen Headbutt. Psychic. Goodbye, Kangaskong. Gengar! Send headbutt. Goodbye. Steelix. Nope. And fuck you for making me flinch. Thank you. Fuck. How many of you have I beaten yet? Is that enough yet? Fuck, no, it's not. I still got this bitch. She's got a Scizor. I have a Venusaur. What are we gonna do? Not a damn thing, that's for fucking sure. Level 100. You gotta fucking do something, man. Man, fuck you and your stupid ass Protect. Lucario. Oh god. Oh, fuck you! Fuck you. Why do you have so many Protects and Detect? Isn't that a duplicate move, technically? Fuck that Pokemon, man. Oh god. This is not good. Not good. Oh, never mind. Thought it wasn't good. Oh, fuck me. I still have another person to go up against. You took a shit. You nasty fuck. Oh god. That's horrendous. What the hell is wrong with you? What did you eat? I got sending out the minuscule Pikachu. Never mind. I got my ass kicked. You sick fuck. I can't confirm anything without actually investigating. Where the fuck is my lighter? There it is. I just want to make it smell better in here. Did I download it? Yes, I did. God, I'm dying, son. Save to files. Okay, episode 5. Download. You're a sick little bitch. What we got? Where are all those Pokemon I caught yesterday? Oh, right. Right fucking here. Oh, well, that would explain. We're gonna go with Horse Spear. Alright, let's try this again. Buon appetito, bitch. That sure as hell wasn't what I wanted. There we go. Goodbye. What are you playing out here? Okay. Fire ore. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. Bon appetit. Bon appetito. Okay. Save a lie. There we go. Simple enough. All right. Oh, you bitch. All right. That's not. Bon appetito, bitch. Caesar. Stuart. Abby Slam. San Hidebot. Psychico. That didn't do shit though. That did though. I don't know why I'm talking like this anymore. Heavy slime. Zan ahead the boat. A psychic troll. Oh, nope, never mind. You won that one. I'll give you that. Oh, fuck you and your leftovers. We're gonna hit you with a wood hammer. Don't matter if you have leftovers now, does it? I have. Wood hammer. Close combat. Because I figured you would do that. You dumb bitch. Still going on? How many of these am I gonna have to go on for? 10? Aerodactyl. Wood hammer. Dead. Starmie. Wood hammer. Dead. Cross class. Wood hammer. Dead. God. How many of these do I have to go up against? Arbok. There's one. Fuck. Well, that's one. Go, go. It didn't fucking do what I wanted it to. For some reason, it tried opening up the menu. I hate you. Fly here. Yes. Well, it's night time, baby. Are you okay? I'm just gonna take that as a no. Why are you wheezing? You okay? Poor Bubba. I don't know why he's wheezing, but he's wheezing for sure. Or Bubby. Okay. Uh. Okay. I'll be right back. I gotta go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I'm back. I'm gonna play some music. Do 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 do. Walking down, so I walk a line. I found my wounds and I died. My money, my time. Flying low like a broken arrow. I'm slow like I'm a mission arrow. My money, my time. Sing a hot sound, sing it loud. Make it happy, make me proud. Black hole, solid ground. Black hole, solid ground. Touching voices, set 'em free. 'Cause this silence is killing me. Loud beneath the rubble. It's your soul in the need of trouble. No, 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 no. Set the fire, set it out. No intentions of out. Oh, no. Sing your hearts out, sing it loud. Make me happy, make me proud. Oh, solid ground. Back home, solid ground. Buzzing voices set 'em free. Buzzing silence is killing me. Oh, 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 oh. Fighting the fever again. Continue. Oh, 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 I'm fighting the fever. You know, make me happy, make me proud. Back home, solid ground. Back home, solid ground. Let your voices set me free. Cause this silence is killing me. What the fuck? Where the hell did these two come from? Heard it from a distance. It came about a sound. Couldn't hear the monster. I couldn't hear it out. And I said, God damn. Fix your hands and let you turn them into gold. Yeah, a little won't break out. Home in the middle won't shake now. Been holding darkness too long. Whoa, turn a lights on. It comes to an end. I'll do it over again. Over again. It's one of those monsters since I was 21. I'm daring it, so I let and I let it go. And everyone I know will see, everyone I pay, and I feel lost. 'cause I choose me. Only the little won't break down. Held in the middle won't shake down. And holding darkness too long. Turn the lights on. And when it comes to an end, I'll do it over again. Oh, and a little won't break down. Home in the middle won't shake now. Been holding darkness too long. Turn the lights on. And when it comes to an end, I do it over again. Over again. Bippity boppity boo. Take what you can get on sin for the rest. Won't out, you're welcome, baby. Take this the wrong way. Talking off the right, take it right where you want. Something sweet to cut you like a whisper in the dark. Think, ooh, no, you got a secret. You know, I couldn't keep it. You know, you got the best of me. You know, all that's left of me is couldn't come at a worse time. Use up all my lifelines. Seems like such a far cry. Put me on the front line. Too far gone, baby. Come on, go the road. Cheap shots, low blows. What do you take me for? Keep on trying. Break me down. Down on your level, baby. Down on your level. Keep on trying. Bring me down. Down on your level, baby. Down on your level. Oh, no. Here we go again. Don't act like you to give a good goddamn. So long, you'd let it go to waste. I hold my hands, but I won't get the taste. No, you got a secret. You know I couldn't keep it. You know you got the best of me. You know the guns left of me. It couldn't come at a worse time. Used up all of my lifeline. Seems like such a far cry. You be on the front line. Too far gone, baby. One more go to roll. Cheap shots, low blows. What do you take me for? Keep on trying. Bring me down. Down on your level, baby. Down on your level. Keep on trying. Bring me down. Down on your level, baby. Down on your level. Here we go again. Don't act like you to give a good goddamn. So, fucking dying. The worst time meeting up on lifeline seems like such a far cry. Put me on the front line. No, but right, take me right where you want. Something sweet cut you like a whisper in the dark. Cheap far gone, from a woman go to road. Cheap shots. I am dying. For some reason, I just keep choking. Something keeps getting stuck in my throat. This tale is anything at all. There's all that's in before. You gone. Goodbye, when came along. Well, I just need to know. I'm not on the phone. I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. I'm doing. What? Am I? Am I? Bye, 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 bye. Oh, my. I don't know what to do there. Alright. I'm hungry. I'm just a stranger with a twisted smile and a wandering eye. What is in danger? Come close and I can tell you a lie. Oh, child, you got me running through a turnstile. Baby girl, you got me rocking your style. You know nothing about love today. You are a sweet dream with a tender heart and a beautiful smile. The things are what they seem. So I let you go and dream for a while, wild child. You got me running through the exile. Baby girl, you got me liking your style. You're gonna get my love today. Why, of course. I can help you do that. Let me finish this battle up real quick, and then we'll get right to it. At the end of every day, you know I'm beating you to stay. Time's coming, time to feel it, just come out and play. Baby, won't you show me your wild child ways? Wild child. You got me running through the time, baby girl, you know you liking your style. You're gonna get my love today. Wow, child. You got me running through sun. Every time you know I'm liking your style. You're gonna get my love today. Ashes in the sky, falling to the metal. Other suns are full, we may never know. Only day at a time, running out of daylight. What goes on alone, we may never know. If my brother runs like a stream of my brother, goes out and free of my brother, is like the memory flows. Oh, my brother, goes like a stream of my brother, goes out and free of my brother, will die with me. Nothing left to hide, no memories in no dark sides. When it's all defined, when you're first alive, I'm ready to endure, no one to remember, happens to us all, we may never know. Yes, my brother, goes like a stream on my brother, goes wide and free on my brother, feels like a memory flows. Well, my brother, goes like a creek on my brother, goes wild and free on my brother, will die with me. Alright, are you still there? Thomas.gaming1 or games.1 or games1? I don't know. If you're still there, let me know what the link code is, and I'll put it in. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a water. Free of my brother, will die for me. City of angels, where dreams go to die. City of angels, where I used to fly. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. I gave you 10 minutes, Thomas. 10 minutes. No more, no less. Oh, it's the Asher. It's the Asher. How's my baba? The cold, passing through my days. They don't kill the cold, they just numb the pain. When you waking up, want to face the train, going calm the stone. If I wanted to, type it's become a parasite. But they keep me terrified. I tell myself I've been alright, I'm gonna give it, and I don't know why it's like it. This time I'm letting go, cast a shadow. Face of a show. So these chemicals racing through my veins. They don't care what it costs. They just numb the pain. Waking up as you face the truth. I could calm the storm if I wanted to. Time has become the parasite. Trying to keep me terrified. I tell myself I'll be alright. Ain't gonna need it, and I don't know how tough. I need to something right. My friends are turning to the night. I'm together, and I don't know. Here's my mobile.
What you doing?
You just staring at me? I think you're more pissed off than I'm in your sleeping spot, aren't I? Aren't you? She's like, asshole, get out of my nighttime spot. It's my nighttime spot. Well, not tonight, it ain't. My insomnia is kicked the fuck in. Tough. I don't think Thomas is with us anymore. To be fair, I don't think anybody's with us at all, but I appreciate Thomas actually leaving a comment. That was nice of Thomas. I wish I had seen it sooner, so I could have actually helped him out, but hindsight's 2020. In reality, that's what it is. Hindsight's 2020. Regardless, I still got 6 minutes. And if for some reason he decides to show back up, Thomas, I'm here for your trade. I will help you, sir. I have no problem with that. You would not be the first person I've helped trade shiny trade. Coming back, coming fever. It's going black like a fever. Yeah, going deep on my love. Sinking deep in a hole. Solid gold. Damn it. Damn it. Black and blue, girl, yeah. Floating on my heart. Bird is sinking deep in a hole. Oh, oh, I saw it go. Oh, I saw it go. Coming back like a diva. It's killing me. Yeah, the sun dreams come my soul. This kicking deep in a hole. Solid gold. You leave when I feel never try for it. Oh, solid gold. The diamonds in your head, and I don't know what you want. Until the faces, things in the dark. I don't know. Insomnia is a bitch. Half the time I can't fucking sleep. And when I do sleep, I sleep for 30 minutes at a time and then wake up every fucking hour. Oh, this is a good one. Good song. That's how I feel every single day at work. I'm holding out for a day without a cringe attack. But when I put the feed, the feeling back. Of generational trauma, yes, I don't give a shit. I don't give a damn anymore. I don't see the point. I come up. Oh, I guess I do have some news for a live stream, I guess. I'm moving. Like, literally within the next 2 weeks. So, this shit will all be gone and replaced with something else. What it is? Fuck if I know. But it'll be something. It'll be something. I keep forgetting I'm using that camera and not that one. Not quite sure why that one crapped out on me. All right, Thomas, you got 20 seconds. Bite me. I'll bite back. Bite me. I'll bite back. All right, Thomas. I'm sad to say you missed out on the trade, but I appreciate your comment regardless. I don't give a fuck if there was a fuck up or not. Anyways, slide to stop. Where the fuck am I? Right there. Suit up and I go to work. You got me doing shit I can't endorse. I come apart. Run, little bitch, run. Look, I don't know what generation Pumpkin Boo was. All I know is that it was after Generation 5. What I do know is ever since Pumpkin Boo was actually introduced, it has always been a thing that they come in different sizes. So, this bitch crazy. Oh, okay, maybe she not crazy. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. So what you're telling me is nothing has really been found out. Y'all fuckers just changed the words. That fucking stupid. We're gonna catch a jumbo variant. Verity. Don't bring me no apple Pokemon. Fucking bitch. How am I supposed to know if it's a jumbo? Where is 15? Am I next to 15? Oh, I am. Just want to leave, god damn it. Again. Tomorrow. perfection. Your perfection. Hold up, wait up, don't stop. Stop for a minute. I got one shot, then stop. Get on a mission. Give it all to you. The villages of me, what will you do? I can't think about you. Sure. Do you come back? Obsession. Hold up. Up. Feels good. Up for a minute. I got one shot. Can't stop. Man on a mission. You're giving it all to you. What you do? Man on a mission. Did I catch everything? That is expensive ass fucking coffee, man. Yep. That was an expensive ass coffee for a fucking photo, man. I guess there has to be a way to get up there that I'm not knowing. That way. You hold going cliffside edge. Yeah, I just want to get you back inside my place. It feels alive. Spend every day. All that love that I'm giving you. All that love that I'm giving you. Oh, but your love still bleeding now. Still away. Oh, but your love still bleeding now. Still away. Oh, the love feels so down. I want all three of you bitches, but I only caught two. To clear this place, I'm going around the shit I can take. Here's what I feel like I can take. All that love that I'm giving you again. All that love that I'm giving you. Oh, but your love still bleeding out. Somewhere, oh, your love still bleeding out. Oh, cool. We got dig. Snow still bleeding out. So. So, watch love still bleeding out. So. Yeah. Is present falling when dancing us away. The seas already crossed up, ceasing the strategy. This game is changing something. Go down, go down, go down. The only risk is thinking. Go down, go down, go down. I think you better go before I try something on my baby. I want it regret. Think I better go before I try something on my regret. I might regret. Just on my mind. Let's trying to get something. The world is slowing down. Just getting something. Go down, go down, go down. I must keep looking. Go down, go down. Maybe I better go before I try something I might regret. I might. I think I better go before I try something I might regret. I might regret. I think I better go before I try something I might regret. I might regret. I think I better go before I try something I might regret. I might regret. It's our secret. Ain't no better go before I try something I might regret. I might regret. The cafe I need to find has a battle arena by it. Go back. Go back to where I was. So I can turn into black again. Where the fuck is this bitch's shit? I'm gonna go back. She went to the hair salon. Then she went to a cafe that had a battle arena behind it. I'm gonna go back to where I was before I take it to black. Okay, well, I'm to the point where I can only find one hair salon, which is this place. There's a... I don't know. I guess I'll go over here. Ah. Uh, see what you got this time. What the fuck, man? Did you put me in short shorts? Okay. I don't know how to feel about this. That looks really tight in the crotch area. That can't be comfortable. Can't be comfortable. Oh, I found it. I found the fancy key. I found it. Alright, well, I'm already here. Never mind. It's nighttime. And now it chooses to work. On the run, Americano with a loaded gun. Ready in the brain and he loves to hunt, so get the brain by the time it's done. Pick it out of knife and it probably won't. You let go, better get the rope. Gonna go, you go. And fast, honey, don't get slow. I think I died and woke up in LA. I didn't know how I wound up in this place, no. I think I died and woke up in LA. Please ask me how that tastes. I say, honey, A-okay. Feels funny when I close my eyes. Feels like I can touch the sky.
Then we're gonna forget this happened. And Buccaneer says otherwise. Try to put humans in the mood. I love her cause she's aggressive too. Says how can we deeper in what we do? Well, this is music comes to you. I think I died and woke up in LA. I don't know how I wound up in this place now. I think I died and woke up in LA. She asked me how that tastes. I said, honey, hey, okay.
I really got died and woke up in LA. I don't know how I wound up in this place now. I think I died and woke up in LA. They asked me how that tastes. I said, honey, hey, okay. Goodbye.
You wanna really know things? I'm not gonna put the brakes. I'm not gonna inside, it's inside. Living my world, taking my time. To die, to survive. Oh no, I'm taking my time. Much more than we bargained for. We all pick our poison, it's all set unspoken. Not the only ones. Maybe so broken, we're always chosen. No, I know I'm not the only one.
God, look at the stars on my ass.
It's a sign, probably not taking my time. Live the night, live the fight, live the night, I'm taking my time. Woo! Woo! So much more than we bargained for. I'll pick our boys since that's the broken. Not the only one. So broken when all this is chosen.
Pretty sure I found it that time.
Breaking up your love was alive. We got so babe, so much more. We got more than we bargained for. We got bottles and the sets left unspoken. not the only one. Can't be what's broken when all this is chosen. No one knew I'm not the only one. The only one. Bullshit. There's no way that was it. I know for a fact I caught one that was big. It had to be. How do you call that a medium? That's not a medium. It's almost twice the fucking size. What is that? What is it? I guess this is the jumbo. So I did find it. Okay, cool. To be, I want to be running free. It's not you, it's me. Just a way he has to be. I was born to be running free. So you come to see, baby, it's not you, it's me. So way it has to be. I was born to be running free. So I know you come to see, baby, it's not you, it's me.
Hot blood in your veins, and we're gonna be the same. Tell me what you gonna do. It's bad on the bed, on the bed to make me feel, and you make me black and blue. Oh, you made to see for my love, and you see, I die for the likes of you. I love you so long with the shit and the song. Was it you do? Said, never let you down, let you down, never let you down. Said, let you down, never let you down, let you down. I'll never let you down. Let you down. I'll never let you down. You baby. The amount of legs I can see on my character is a bit disturbing. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he's a male. But I don't know. It just does not feel right that he should be wearing that short of shorts. You do. Sit down. Sit down. See the sun. Let you down. Let you down. Let you down. Let you down. Fuck! Say, never let you down. Never let you down. Never let you down. Say never let you down. Never let you down. Let you down. Oh, it's been a few years of learning just how I should go on with myself. I'm up against the mirror. I should to be someone else. Ooh, I feel the stormy weather. And ooh, feels good to get out of the rain. Whoa, don't wanna live like that. Oh, 'cause I'm healing. Yeah, 'cause I'm healing. It's good to feel good again.
Don't wanna live like that. Oh, 'cause I'm here. Yeah, 'cause I'm here. It's gonna feel good again. Well, you didn't go to me, gonna pull it in. I went through to this meeting. My heart feels like it's ooh, I hear stormy weather. Ooh, feels good to get out of the rain. Oh, don't wanna live like that. Oh, 'cause I'm healing. Yeah, 'cause I'm healing. It's good to feel good again. Oh, you're up on top of the roof. Okay. Don't live like that. Oh, 'cause I'm healing. Yeah, 'cause I'm healing. It's gonna feel good again. Don't live like that. Oh, don't fear. No, no. I don't want this. Let's shoot. No. One way, no way around. Yeah, I'm gonna take free everyone we say. Here we go again. For the slave again. I'm gonna take free everyone we say. Here we go again. Here we go, here we go. Let's praise the love of. One way in and a way out. Stop. Again, I'm not afraid. Real reset. Here we go again. Fucking going wrong goddamn way. Stand up on this land. That game I'm gonna have. Free real reset.
Oh, bada bada bada. Oh boy. Damn it. How am I supposed to get up there? Oh, there is a lift. Why didn't I see it before?
Right here. It's over now, you see. Can't going at my seams. Fuck you in a horse you wanna know. I don't know, but I'm really had none. It's another blow, another blow. Useless to try.
Oh, I'm tired. This is probably gonna be the last one I do for the night. Well, no, we'll be back tomorrow doing the same damn thing. Because I want to finish this game before I start anything new. And by finishing this game, I mean by doing everything that I possibly can. Which includes finishing Pokédex. Oh, motherfucker! Seems. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Been unlucky, but I've never really had none. I'm living up the blow. It only goes to show it's useless to try.
think you got that too. You can have it all, but how much do you want to lose? Open up, but I don't think you got that too.
This motherfucker over here.
What a open hell. But you know so well. We ain't got but a open hell. Same old line, but you know so well. Yeah. Open up, mind, I think you got that too. You know where I'm at all, but how much do you want to lose? Open up, mind, I think you got that too. You can have it all, but how much do you want to lose?
Oh, now we're gonna fight. I did it. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I see now. It was originally an easier way to get to it. Okay. Well, now I'm stuck here.
Terrified. I'm ready for you. Don't bring it up another truth. Another man so pearly white. And then get close to it. Son. I'm your age. Oh,
There's somebody right by the gate. What do you want?
cry. Sometimes keep it together now. Come on, little brother. Come on, little brother. I need a bench. It's a monster! Well, he seems happy with himself. Get on the ground, listen to the sound of the real money maker.
Okay. With that, I'm gonna call it night. I will see you guys tomorrow. So have a good night. And I hope you guys enjoyed.